Welcome to aPODcalyptic Times with your host, Travis Spencer.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens of all colors. This is aPODcalyptic Times. Welcome. I'd like to welcome America. Thank you for listening. Big thanks to Richard Derby. Sent me a beautiful shirt. Truffle Shuffle. Shout out. The only problem with it is I don't know when to wear it. It's like going to have to be a guest that he approves that I can wear to retire it on the show, correct?
Well, you should just wear it in your life.
It's a regular rotation shirt?
It's a regular rotation shirt.
But what if he has like a dream guest that we got on?
Put a tie with that, like you can go out.
We just got to ask him. I'll ask him what that's a great idea. The sport jacket and the truffle shelf shirt.
Hell yeah.
Here with John Derby and David Duarte, of course.
Hello.
Hello.
So I'm going to put it in the regular rotation.
Yeah, I would say wear it in the regular rotation, and then
we'll ask him.
He'll be back in the country at some point. Maybe we'll have him on the show or something.
Either he'll do the show, or if we can get his dream guest.
Right. Sure.
We'll figure out
what would be his
guest
dream
is.
guest.
God,
I don't know. Take a stab at that.
What is his dream guest?
Or if we can get the
who's
dude.
one of the 9 guitar players for Slipknot? I don't know. Some bullshit.
Did we? Is the dude who did the truffle shuffle? Is he still alive?
Oh shit!
Can we get him?
Is that
Chunk?
That'd be fucking dope. If we
Track
could get
down
Chunk.
That'd be the shit.
We will get Chunk on the show. Like to thank everybody for clicking through Amazon.com.
You're welcome.
I replaced my 70 with a new 60 here.
Ooh.
So everybody clicking through Amazon.com is helping out for like 1/100th of a fucking memory card. Thank you. It's just so fucking expensive. This is a warning to Bigfoot. Now that I'm ready with the new camera, I'm gonna fucking find him. Going to northern Arizona this week. I'm gonna find his ass.
Are you gonna be like Greer or something like that?
Greer. Yeah, we're
Greer.
going to Greer. Gonna
Going
do
to
some
Greer.
fishing. Some fishing and Bigfoot hunting.
You got to stay the hell away from
Jesus.
water.
I know. Yeah, seriously. Although
Stay the hell away from Greer.
I got protection plans. I got everything now.
Are you just gonna leave your phone like at the hotel or what?
No, well, the phone is weird because I have no idea how that happened. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me other than Bigfoot. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Snatched it, dimension traveled, came
Fucking
back.
exactly.
Maybe you were drunk.
He's like peeing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you drunk and you pissed your pants or something?
No, none of that. Like, it was just in the car because it stopped working in the car, so it must have happened before. I thought I shorted it out because I plugged in. I have one of those things you plug in to the outlet in your car, and it gives you power. Not just a USB switch, like an actual it's a power inverter is what it's called. Because I wanted to plug my laptop in for the trip, and I thought that shorted it out. I thought that's why it stopped working, but it wasn't that. It was liquid damage. Yeah, and I don't know where that happened.
I think Bigfoot dimension traveled.
Yeah, he took
dropped it in some period blood. Threw it in a bag of rice.
Hey,
I did that, or you just sweat profusely through your pants.
Well, I can sweat. I'm gonna reboost this week. That's what you call it when you put money on your Boost mobile phone. You reboost. So hit us up 323 UFO 2717. Someone's gonna call us. I don't know if anybody called last week because I didn't reboost. So I got this new amazing hotline. I looked into it. I was like, why didn't I just get like a Vonage phone or some that would have been so much fucking cheaper. I spent like $60 to get the fucking thing. Now I got to spend like $3 a day to turn it on.
And when you got it, you're like, "Oh man, it's only $3 a day." Because you never ask us, you just do it, and then you tell us how great it is, and then it's never actually what you say it is.
I got this great idea. Don't worry, it's fine.
No, you don't. That's the thing. You never give it to us when it's an idea. You give it to us when you've got a receipt in your hand, like, "Oh, I bought this thing, and it's gonna be fucking great."
Well, fuck you.
Well, I'm just saying.
Did you at least buy it on Amazon?
No, I bought it through Boost. Yeah, I didn't get a penny out of it. Which, if I buy things myself, I don't get it.
Do you think they'd sponsor us if our hotline starts blowing up?
I don't know. Hit up Boost Mobile.
Hell yeah.
Boom. 323 UFO 2717. We want UFO sightings and apocalypse theories.
What about Bigfoot sightings?
Absolutely. Sure. Tell me when you see Bigfoot.
Can they text you photos?
Please text me.
There you go.
Write me. I'm reboosting, so by the time you hear this, it's going to be on. It'll probably be only on for one day. So you got to hit me up on Wednesday.
This is so stupid.
Oh, God. Great planning by yours truly.
Jeez,
all right, it's time for some news.
But I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence
So, mice have been implanted with false memories. We're going to watch this video.
Inception.
Mice are constantly being used in scientific research. Now, they could also be used in research that never really happened. Confused?
Whoa.
Let us explain.
This blew
In
my
a
fucking
mind control
mind.
experiment, a team of scientists claim they've been able to plant a false memory in the minds of mice. Researchers targeted the brains of genetically engineered mice and made specific neurons respond with light to make them recall events that didn't actually
It even says
happen.
real life
The Boston
Inception.
Globe explains one test in which a mouse was placed in a chamber illuminated with a reddish light and a faint smell of vinegar. The mouse froze. A series of electric foot shocks would be coming soon, as the mouse remembered had happened the last time. But the shocks never came. This was a false memory the mouse had actually reacted to. But don't worry, scientists aren't planning to implant false memories into people.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it always starts. Scientists who did they're not planning on it. But guess who's funding it?
This dumb
DARPA or some crazy overreaching U.S. government program.
This dumb chick from Newsy says, "Don't worry." Oh, okay, never mind.
Just read the fucking news.
Woo!
Mass child molestation.
Lori said it's
along
not
with
gonna
other
happen.
bizarre acts, including Satanism. The government
What?
spent
How do we get
7
into
years
Satanism?
and $15 million investigating and prosecuting a case that resulted in no convictions, mainly because some accusations were based on false memories. And the Washington Post explains another event in which an Australian psychologist was arrested for a rape he didn't commit. The victim had reportedly been watching TV at the time of her rape, the same live show the psychologist was on. As a result, she described him as her attacker. Scientists expect this recent discovery will not only alert experts of how unreliable human memory can be, but The Guardian reports it could also aid in understanding past life experiences, memories of alien abduction, and psychiatric diseases such as schizophrenia.
Hey, those
So
alien
next time
abduction,
you
those are real
swear
memories.
you left your keys on the counter and they're not there, chances are you're creating your own false memory.
That's bullshit.
For
That's
Newsy,
a
I'm
dimension
Elizabeth.
opens up, swallows your keys, and then you come back later, and the dimension you come back to another dimension. That's been
I
proven.
mean, obviously.
Proven.
I have a false.
Proven.
I have a false
Newsy.
memory story.
What's that?
When at my old house back home, like the house that I was not born in, but I was born in a hospital, but the house that I lived in at first.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back to there.
Does that make sense?
That's you're burying the lead.
Well, I
in the
didn't want to say
story.
the house I was born in, but I was like, I wasn't born in a house. I was born in a hospital.
All right, back
Yeah.
to
I
your
think I got it.
Anyway,
false memory.
So one of our dogs got hit by a car. Like, my parents were all at a friend's house across the street, and our dog ended up getting hit by a car. And I guess I had heard the story so many times that I thought I was there when it happened.
Oh,
Because I
right.
could tell you how it happened. I'm like, I could remember, like, it plays out in my mind. And then my mom's like, no, you were not there. You've just heard the story so many times, you think you were there.
Yeah, that's
like, 'cause
crazy.
she said
Yeah.
I was not there, but I can see it in my brain as it happened. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And you probably had dreams about it and stuff. And
I don't even remember
when you were a kid. You probably did.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. I mean, but
pretty
it was
wild.
never like, it was never anything that like super haunted me or anything like that. But
Every one of us has something like that.
Right.
Like probably more than just one thing. You know.
Right. Well, the trippiest
Yeah.
thing I always think about is how you look back through photos and you think you remember them just because you're looking at that photo. Because otherwise, like a lot of those things you would never remember.
Yeah.
But you see the photo and it's like, okay, I, think
I remember doing that,
But
yeah.
do you really, or is it just because you're putting it together with?
Or then you just
Just that
remember the photo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you just remembering the photo, or are you?
That's what's weird about people
Well,
that
I mean,
take
the-
so
Remember the
many
actual
photos. They take like photos at everything they do. It's like, are they actually living in the moment and creating real memories, or are they just
Creating a
these false
hologram.
memories
but
with
that's the thing.
photographs?
It's like
hologram of their
whatever
own life.
whatever you took the picture of happened. So you were
Did it?
Oh, jeez. Now you're just gonna get all stupid.
Is this desk here?
did it?
You can't prove it. You can't prove it.
For what we know, it did happen, and it just stirs up the memory, and that's the entire point of a photo.
Right.
It's not that you're not misremembering it. You're just being like, oh yeah.
But
now I
this
remember
mice
that.
thing is crazy. Like actually implanting
Yeah.
false
Yeah,
memories.
that's what I say. That's
insane.
that's different.
Fucking Total Recall, man.
Exactly.
Like we're probably not too far away because any of these things, it's like it starts at a and then it starts like this, and then somebody wants to invest in it because it's like, oh well, shit.
You
we
know,
can control.
Monsanto's thinking, how can we get into mind control now?
Exactly, because if they can give us false memories that we love GMOs, then fuck, it's over, man. It's over.
We already have those memories.
From what?
Most people do.
if you
They don't think they're eating GMOs though. That's
right. Well, false memories in that like McDonald's is an awesome place,
Right.
and that because we've been advertised to for so long with such high frequency
right.
advertising,
And especially if you go to a place as a kid, you feel all
Right.
nostalgic about it,
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
continue to go. That's what they want to get you as a kid, like Pepsi and
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola.
Well, there's nothing more memorable than a hamburger and a Coke, right?
A shake.
Nothing more memorable.
Nothing more memorable than a hamburger and a Coke,
Jeez.
an apple pie, a baseball game, and your pops patting you on the head.
Well, up until like 40 years ago, cigarettes too would
Right.
be very memorable as a child.
I love smoking cigarettes as a kid.
Oh
They're
yeah,
great.
Who didn't?
It's my false memories.
This is wrong.
What's wrong with you? So Bradley Manning was acquitted of aiding the enemy for giving secrets to WikiLeaks, which is kind of a victory, but not really. We're gonna watch
Not
the video.
really.
United States, no one has leaked as many classified government secrets as a 25-year-old Army private named Bradley Manning. He was court-martialed, and today a military judge at Fort Meade, Maryland, found him not guilty of the most serious charge, aiding the enemy, but guilty of lesser charges that could send him to prison for the rest of his life. Our national security correspondent, David Martin, is there.
The judge deliberated for 16 hours and
Small
read her verdict
victories.
in less than 5
At
minutes.
least he's not labeled a
starting
terrorist.
with not guilty of aiding the enemy, a charge which could have brought Bradley Manning a maximum sentence of life without parole. As Manning stood impassively, the judge pronounced him guilty of 20 other charges of espionage and theft for having leaked more than 700,000 classified documents to WikiLeaks, including this video of a 2007 shooting in Baghdad when an Apache helicopter gunship mistakenly opened fire on civilians. The documents represent the largest leak of classified
Wasn't a couple of those
information in
journalists,
military
too?
history.
I
Committed by a
think
young
that's
Army
right, yeah.
private working as a low-level intelligence analyst in Baghdad more than 3 years ago. Manning had chosen to have his fate decided by a judge, Army Colonel Denise Lind, rather than a military jury. Colonel Lind gave no explanation for her verdict
That's strange.
or why she was not convinced by the government's contention that Manning knew the material he provided to WikiLeaks would make its way to the enemy. During the 2-month trial, the prosecution presented evidence found during the bin Laden raid that showed the al-Qaeda leader had asked his followers to send him some of the documents. Chief Defense Attorney David Coombs had portrayed Manning as a well-meaning but naive whistleblower, and Manning himself had told the judge his aim was to provoke a public debate about American foreign policy and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. When Coombs walked out of the court, he was greeted with applause by Manning's supporters. "Today is a good day," he was quoted as saying, but Bradley is by no means out of the fire. Manning still faces a maximum sentence of 136 years in prison.
Jesus.
A hearing to determine Manning's sentence begins tomorrow and could last for weeks. He can no longer be sentenced to life without parole, but he could still end up spending the rest of his life in prison.
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference between life and 136 years?
Yeah. Well, he would have parole is the thing.
Right.
So that he would have a chance of, with good behavior, possibly getting out. But you knew they were going to throw
He's
the book
already
at
been
him.
in solitary for how long?
And I think that's the most fucked up thing.
Crazy.
Is how they treated him in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? And that's these NDAA laws and shit. And it's this 25-year-old kid who gave away his life to go fight for the military, saw that how fucked up shit is. And I don't, it's like I don't know exactly where I stand on him. Obviously, him whistleblowing is okay, and it's probably a good thing. But when you sign up for the military, you signed your life away essentially for that. So it's like they have him in that, where a civilian might have more rights than him, which is so sad and fucked up.
Right.
But I don't know.
He's definitely guilty of what he was charged.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously gave away confidential documents.
Right.
So it's...
Yeah, and he was in a position, a low-level security guy. He had a security clearance, gave away. It's like everything's stacked up against him. I guess it's a good thing that they're saying he's not aiding the enemy, but fuck. Like, who's going to answer? The sad thing is nobody will ever have to answer for the shit that actually happened that he,
Right.
Nobody, that got swept under the rug, just like the Snowden thing.
All those innocent people got
Right.
murdered.
Just like the Snowden thing, we're talking about the person and their character and why they did it as opposed to fucking what went wrong. And that's fucked up, because if you're a whistleblower, you should have protections. And I think Snowden and Manning both went about it a little bit wrong, because if you go this... Manning probably because he was in the military is the reason he got fucked. Snowden didn't go through the right channels as a whistleblower, where he wanted to make more... he wanted the notoriety immediately, which is not the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of fucked himself. It's a good sign that generation... 25-year-old, and Snowden was, 29? So essentially guys just younger than us are seeing how fucked up this system is and at least trying to do something about it. Mm-hmm. So hopefully within the next, 10, 15 years, more of this will happen. We'll have more transparency.
Right.
Obama will get out of office.
Hopefully it'll be guys doing it. Hopefully it'll be guys doing it the right way and not having to face such a harsh... punishment for
or
our
maybe
benefit.
we could just get some competent management, upper level.
But the scary thing about it, even if you do it the right way, they still come to your house, fucking raid it, terrorize your family, literally terrorize your family, and they're the fucking good guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a scary fucking thing. I got bad news for you guys. Overrun by spam bots, gay dating app Grindr to end anonymous signups.
Oh,
fuck. So
more transparency, bro.
How many of your Grindr accounts does this affect, John Derby?
Well, all of them, obviously.
You didn't sign up any of them as yourself?
No.
You didn't want anybody to know you're on Grindr?
Well, I mean, I want them to know, just not my real name. Apparently.
Gay Slice Crush, was that you?
Gay Slice Crush?
Yeah.
What? No.
This is unfortunate. Earlier this year...
What about My Passion Pit?
Users of the popular gay hookup and dating app Grindr started seeing a sharp increase in the number of attractive men saying hello to them. Handsome, muscled, and stripped to the waist, the men introduce themselves with a handful of stock greetings. Poke. Hey, buddy. Hey, sexy. Say
hey,
hello
buddy.
back. And they'll respond with a quick story about how incredibly frisky they are feeling. It seems that they have just gotten home from the gym. Sounds like fucking the gay caveman's life. And are about to remove all their clothing. Perhaps you'd be up for a quick video chat.
Hey, buddy.
In this case, what might seem too good to be true actually is.
Poke.
Some of the most provocative profiles on Grindr aren't men at all, but spam bots designed to lure credulous users into turning over their credit card information. Could you imagine if you're...
Don't
you're
you
just
actually
a horny
deserve...
gay guy on a Friday night, and you give some dude who wants to fuck you
your credit card
information, and he rapes you for... I mean, wait, that's the wrong word. He takes you to the cleaners financially rather than having sex with your... it's not funny.
Why are we even
It's not
talking
funny.
about this? Like, are
Not
you kidding me?
funny.
It's hilarious.
We got Rob McHalffey on the show tonight, coming back. It's return. I think this is his third time on the show.
At least, yeah.
He has a new... They just shot Mimepocalypse, so he'll be promoting his latest short film. Did you contribute to the Indiegogo? You put some money down?
I put some money in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
What level are you going to get an ice cream? Are you going to get the video?
I turned down whatever prize I was supposed to get. I said, don't worry about it.
You turned it down?
Yeah, I forgot what... I think I was supposed to get a picture or a poster or something. Like, I don't remember.
My
but
favorite
I was like,
one.
yeah, don't worry about it.
My favorite one of all their things was if you put $1,000 in, they would send you a video of them eating an ice cream sandwich and crying in a car.
What?
Those crazy fucking McHalffey brothers.
Why do I want that? For a G?
$1,000.
You're not going to come clean my bathroom? You're going to send me a picture of you eating an ice cream sandwich?
Crying in a car.
Crying in a car. Okay.
I mean, it might be worth it. If I had enough money to throw around, that's totally would have
If
been
I wanted
the one.
that, I would date a fat chick. It'd cost me less than $1,000.
Oh,
you know I could make her cry while eating an ice cream sandwich in a car.
What would you say to her to make her cry? Call her fat?
Anything. I'd be like, you're eating an ice cream sandwich in the car again?
It's come down to this. It's come down to this. You got that shit all in your teeth. It's disgusting.
You drive like hell because you got a chipwich in your head.
Is there something you want to tell us?
No.
Is this a false memory or is this a real memory?
It's not a memory.
It is
funny
now.
anecdote.
It is now.
Buddy. Oh, was that a funny anecdote?
I guess. I don't know.
You got big news at the end of the podcast. We're not going to say it now. I'm going to save it.
news.
Big news.
Oh, well, I mean, don't oversell it.
It's big news.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, listeners. That's called a tease in the biz.
That's what we call it, tease. All right, in a minute, we'll be back with Mr. Rob McHalffey. Stephanie, what is our appetizer today?
We have French bread with Havarti, roasted figs, and lychees. It's incredible. I would skip the lychees.
What's on the menu for tonight?
Well, I'm feeling a lot of small plates tonight, so I'm doing kind of shit all over the place. Right now, I'm roasting some potatoes or mussels with dill and white wine. And then I have some chicken marinated with raspberry puree, cilantro, and mayonnaise. I think I'm going to do something with that corn. I'm not really sure yet. I'm winging it. Small plates, so...
Welcome back to aPODcalyptic Times. We're here with Rob McHalffey. Welcome back to the show, Rob. Ow! Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thanks for coming out.
Holla, it's been like a year, man.
Seriously, how the hell are you?
I'm good.
What's new?
Dude, I just found this out today. Like a week ago, I submitted for something that came to me online, like an audition for a Pepsi commercial.
Nice.
Like a national spot. And they wanted real Browns fans. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, because they always want, like, real DJs.
I can do that.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm a real Browns fan. I'm from Cleveland. This is legit. And so I submitted for it. You don't always get, you know.
Did you have to submit a video, or is it just an online submission?
It's just online submissions. It's your picture and, like, a little comment. I just wrote, born and raised in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Which I'm not.
So did you show up to that audition like you look like you want to kill yourself? Like,
yeah, right.
Track marks.
Like, oh, he's wearing a Tim Couch jersey. He's got a noose line around his neck. He must be a real Brown.
Must be part of the dog pound.
Yeah, like, oh shit, this is too real for us, man.
Burning a LeBron jersey still. How is it still on fire?
Anyway, so I got the email today, and I got the audition. It's tomorrow, so.
Nice, hell yeah.
I'm just going to go in there dressed like a Browns fan, get all crazy and shit.
Well, I would say normally slow down on that, but nah, to keep throwing them back. If you just got to be a Browns fan,
Yeah.
you got to be hungover in the morning.
Yeah, maybe I should show up drunk.
Look as bad as you possibly
I was
can.
going to say, are you going with paper bag over your head? Or no?
That's the Saints, right? That's the Aints.
Well, it's the Saints. I know the Bengals did it.
Right.
I'm almost certain the Browns.
What is it? I don't know. What is it?
That's how you show you're embarrassed of your team.
Oh, you put a bag on your head?
Cut the holes in the holes in the eyes.
You don't want to be
Because you're ashamed that you're a fan of that team.
We're not going to waste our time. The Browns know we're ashamed of them. They're like, no, we get it. They're wearing paper bags. They wear paper bags when they play.
How upset were you when they left?
Oh, in '99?
Yeah.
I was young, so I was just like as mad as I was expected to be.
Right.
Because everyone else was pissed.
Yeah. Well, almost. I
was like, yeah, that's
I think the
bullshit.
younger you are, I think the more angry I'd be. 'Cause
Yeah.
as you get older, you're like, well, fucking some rich guy. I don't give a shit.
No, if they leave now, I'd be upset.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I was, 99 shit, I was 15 years old, so I was just new to sports fanaticism.
Right. What's the greatest moment you've seen in Browns history?
Dude, oh man, you know what the greatest? It was a season for me, actually. It was a season that like Derek Anderson threw 4,000 yards or something like that.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
When he went to the Cardinals,
Dude,
he was such a... Even the season after that, he was such a piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit the year before that.
Yeah.
He was a piece of shit the year after. It was
Steroids,
like
HGH. What the fuck was that?
I don't know, man. But he needs to get
Something
back on.
was weird.
We went 10-6 that year,
Yeah,
and
no, they were
still
good.
missed the playoffs.
Right.
That was the same year that like the Seattle Seahawks got in with like a 7-9 record.
The Bengals and the Steelers were both really good that year, right? So they were like third in their own division.
Yeah,
or something.
that was the problem. Everybody, I mean, the Ravens are good every year. The Steelers
Yeah.
are good every year.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that was the same year that maybe it was Andy Dalton's breakout year, right?
The Red Rocket?
Yeah, when he came out and just went nuts for the Bengals.
Yeah.
That was just 2 years ago, though.
Yeah, I don't think
Andy
it was.
Dalton.
Yeah.
No, that was a couple
Derek
years ago. Yeah.
Anderson was like, what, 10
Oh,
years
you guys
ago?
said it was
3 or 4.
It was probably like
Carson Palmer was there that year.
Yeah. So I think it was just the Ravens and the Steelers being as good as they were,
Right.
and there not being a spot for us. So
Did they have any good years before? Like, they were falling apart
Dude.
before the franchise, like 98,
as soon as
97.
I
It was pretty ugly, right?
Yeah, everything after them coming back
The Kozar years were good.
We've never had a winning
solid,
year.
but that was like
that was in the 80s,
late 80s, right?
Yeah, they really
80s
only had
to
one
early
good
90s.
year since they moved back to Cleveland,
Right?
Which
And
was
that
that
was
year.
the
That
year
year that you were talking about. Yeah.
And for me, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is what I've been waiting for.
It was like, what, 2000, 2001, something like that?
When was
No, it was like 2007.
But it's so much more magical.
Yeah, it was a little bit later.
It's so much more magical when you're a fan of a shitty team when they have a decent
Yeah.
year. Like when the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl, holy fuck was I stoked.
I was excited that year,
that
man.
was amazing.
Larry Fitzgerald couldn't drop anything.
No, Kurt Warner just standing in
Yeah.
the pocket taking fucking
I was actually
hits.
way less excited about that versus the time they beat Cowboys in the playoffs.
Shut up. That's because you suck Jake Plummer's dick on a daily basis.
If he asked me to.
What?
Mr.
Wouldn't even have to ask me politely.
Have you ever looked up to see like if he's got a handball tournament you want to go to? Like, would you show up?
Well, I mean, most of them are in Colorado.
Well, why
I think that's where
you wouldn't make like a trip to Colorado
No.
to go to a handball tournament.
No.
He's like the greatest.
What am I gonna do? Like
just show up and be like, "Hey, Jay,
hey, I used to watch you play football. I'm a grown man.
don't you want him to sign your shirt
Like,
or something?
what-
Don't you have like
No.
a Jake Plummer shirt you want him to sign?
I have a Jake Plummer signed jersey. I don't need to go.
Oh, you bought it, but you don't have a
It was
personal
bought
interaction
for
with
me.
it.
No.
Like I don't understand. Like
I've
if you're
never
such
met
a- Do you want to meet him?
No.
'Cause that'll
Absolutely
ruin it.
not.
That'll
Because
ruin it.
what I mean, what?
Although he does seem like a cool guy.
I'm sure he is cool. I've met one guy that has met him, and he was like, "Yeah, he was awesome."
So you've met the guy who met him.
I met a guy who met him. I'm sure
The
several
guy.
people
guy.
the guy. But it's
One
like,
degree
what,
away.
what am I gonna? I'm a man in my 30s. I'm gonna go find some man playing a handball tournament and be like, "Hi, I'm a fan of yours." Like, no, that's
He really plays
ridiculous.
handball?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
Professionally?
I guess as professional as handball
Right.
is.
It gets
like,
real. It gets
I mean,
real
he's in
out
a
there.
tournament. Like, he's in tournaments, and I imagine he plays for a small amount of money. I guess I mean.
PSV Eindhoven? That's a soccer team name, but I just want to come up with some crazy club name.
That's
that's a handball club. Rob.
What up?
You got a new project coming up, right?
Oh, yeah. So we just finished Mimepocalypse, which is pretty suiting for this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It's like a post-apocalyptic world overrun by mimes instead of zombies. So that's
Fucking
cool.
assholes.
Right?
Mimes are creepy as fuck.
They're
so yeah.
super creepy. And I didn't realize how creepy they were until we shot this thing.
Right.
And it's just a bunch of people running around in regular mime makeup. But
friend
they
of the
look
show,
creepy as
Billy
shit.
Atchison's on it, right?
Yeah, Billy Atchison was one of the leads.
Nice.
And basically he wakes up, tries to find his wife, goes outside, she's not around. Has to kill mimes and shit, which is awesome because it's like you use imaginary weapons. It's just like whatever you could pick up, a machete, a shotgun.
Ridiculous.
Hang them with an imaginary rope. It's the shit.
Hell yeah. So you directed and starred in, or?
No. I just wrote it and I was the executive producer.
Oh, okay.
The twins who have been on the show, I think
Yeah.
both of them, Michael and Marshall.
Yes.
Uh,
Actually, Marshall didn't show up.
Yeah, that's right. Michael did.
Yeah.
Anyway, they directed. It was Marshall's thesis for LA Film School.
Nice.
And then, Mikey was a co-director on that, but it was basically Marshall's baby.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then I just finished writing Michael's thesis, which we'll shoot in like January, which is basically it's like an LAPD suicide prevention specialist
Nice.
whose wife dies, and then he gets called into work 2 weeks later. He comes back after she dies, and his brother's up on a ledge, and he's like trying to talk him down, and his brother's like, "Listen, I was the guy that she was cheating on you with."
Oh shit.
And I, this and that, and it gets all crazy and shit from there.
Yeah. So you'll shoot mostly like on a ledge,
Yeah.
on the edge of a building with like talking to somebody who's in a room like down below, or how do you envision
try
it?
to figure that out?
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day who's a director, and they're like, you should have 3 difficult things every time you shoot something. Like you shoot a scene, you should have exactly 3 difficult things. You shouldn't have more or less than that, because if you do less than 3 difficult things, you get a shitty project that you're shooting in an apartment.
Right.
But if you get more than 3 difficult things, you get a shitty project that you can't pull off.
It's a challenge at least.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it's like
or if
3.
more, yeah.
He's like 3 is perfect, and I was thinking, I was like, trying to find a ledge, man. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
That should count as like 2 things right there.
Right. Well, yeah, and something that's practical, but then you'll get that shot where you look down and
Yeah.
it's like freaky enough with a wide enough angle. That,
Yeah.
with a wide angle you can pull it out and make it look taller than it is, but still you need to be up probably 3 levels.
Something.
Probably
Because
shoot
I wrote it that it was on the 10th floor.
Oh, nice.
And when I write these things, I'm like, I just want to write it and kind of go all out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like,
obviously you have to
something that we
get
can
to a little more realistic.
Something that we can shoot.
Right.
You can always change that later, though.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. Something's realistic.
It's like the 2nd floor.
But it heightens.
He falls and hurts his ankle.
Yeah. That classic,
Family-
Peter
Family
Griffin
Guy.
scene where he's just holding his knee. I don't. That's an F, Mike. I'm sorry. You did not pass the class. We've seen that on Family Guy before.
Yeah, right.
So Mimepocalypse. How'd you come up with this concept? Did you always have a thing with mimes, or
No, my brother he came to me one day and he's like, it'd be funny is if, somebody woke up on the day of Armageddon or the Reckoning or whatever you want to call it, and instead of zombies, it was mimes, because there are so many zombie things going on right now.
Yeah.
He was like, it'd be cool if it were mimes. That'd be funny. And I was like, oh, yeah. And we wanted to shoot it because he came up with the idea before December 22nd, 2012, which was supposed to be, the last day
the end of the Mayan calendar.
The end of the Mayan calendar, the last day on Earth, and whatever. So we were just going to post something on, we're going to shoot something fast and just put it up on YouTube as like a funny little thing. Maybe it'd get some hits.
Right.
And then that had come and gone. We missed our chance. And we were like, all right. Scrap that idea. And then he's like, well, I got to shoot a thesis. Why don't we do it for our thesis? I was like, all right. So I had to rewrite it because it was just this funny little stupid thing.
Like a 2-pager, 3-pager?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 pages, and it was just all bullshit tongue-in-cheek jokes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then I rewrote it to, 15 pages. And
shot 15? All of it?
Yeah.
Included it? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so it should be about 15 minutes.
When are you looking at a release date? When's it going to be done?
It's post-production right now, so he's editing it. It has to be color-corrected.
Right.
And then, all the Foley work, which is basically just adding sound effects and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's imaginary weapons, but when they shoot, you hear the shotgun, and you hear the ching of the machete, so at least there's a little bit to kind of aid your imagination.
Right.
Right?
Without giving away what happens on the other end. People just look at them like they're an idiot.
Yeah, right. Ching! What the fuck is that, man?
All right.
Was that a pen? And then...
that's going to hurt.
Yeah, just have somebody score the film.
Nice.
Should be it.
Nice.
Probably end of September, maybe.
Looking end of September release date?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Let us know. We'll post it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We'll have a party or something.
Yeah. Always
Derby won't go, though.
Yeah.
So.
Hell no.
Nah, I can't make it. Yeah,
just letting you know, man.
I'll tell him that he could show up anytime
probably
between
not gonna
6
go.
and midnight, and he'll somehow not find the time to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a big enough window.
So, making this Mimepocalypse film,
Yeah.
do you have any new revelations on the apocalypse that we need to know about?
Oh, man.
How close into the teeth of the apocalypse did you get with these mimes?
It was interesting finding places that there were no people. Like when we were shooting, we had to find empty alleys, empty streets.
Right.
And it's very it's kind of awesome.
It's eerie, yeah.
Being away from everybody, right?
Did you do it? You shot everything in L.A.?
Yeah. We were shooting downtown a little bit, and
Yeah.
some of the alleys and stuff there because they had grittier feels. It was
For
cool.
sure, yeah.
Found some cool walls with graffiti on them and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, I did a music video down there. It's
Yeah.
But we were just down looking for shooting his. We're trying to do a cover photo for him. It's so crazy how you can be on one street and it's okay, this looks pretty legit. You go 2 streets over and it's fucking hell.
Dude, it's crazy.
The apocalypse is hit.
Tent
There's
city.
garbage. They don't even pick up the garbage on those streets.
No.
It's so fucking crazy.
My buddy lives downtown and he lives in a loft and it's badass. It's 2,400 square feet or something. It's huge studio, gorgeous, and he's a photographer, so he uses it also as his place.
Hell yeah.
But dude, that's the nicest part about his neighborhood is that building.
Right.
You go 1 block down and it's Tent City, man. It's
Right.
like Skid Row.
And there's just
people
a feeling
just
in the
shitting
air.
and
It's
pissing
Yeah.
It's terrible. And you see all these homeless people that are just out of their minds crazy.
Yeah, there's enough homeless people in Hollywood in this area. You know what I'm saying? It's you get downtown, it's fucking nuts.
Enough of this. Yeah, it's I got enough of this shit back where I live. I don't need to.
Exactly. And just there's a feeling in the air, man. There's a feeling
Yeah.
in the air. You might get jacked at any second. That's probably me just.
Well, and you look up, you're in amongst all these tents and homeless people and garbage, and then you look up and there's all this money right in front
Yeah,
of
for
you.
sure.
All this
Yeah.
crazy money.
Rub it in your
So-
face how
Yeah.
much, you know that's a $5,000 apartment in that fucking building.
Well, and fucking U.S. Bank Tower. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, just-
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah, you see you could see the skyline of the Ritz-Carlton downtown. It's all of that money and all of this shit.
But the police line stops here at Los Angeles Street.
Yeah.
You go on this side of it, there ain't shit. You're
Elysium, bro.
strangely quiet over there.
Elysium, right?
I'm moving up. I'm flying up. Seriously, that's how it's gonna happen. They just keep building up,
Yeah.
and then they'll just start flying shit up.
That's why
and
they
be
make
like,
tall buildings to get
"Oh,
away
man.
from poor people.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I
to
was
see that.
thinking about how true that is the other day. It's like, like your apartment in the sky
for sure.
is
Well,
literal right
yeah.
now.
Exactly. Well,
Penthouses and shit. You can't afford that.
especially. I mean, you've been in New York, right? It's like
I haven't been there, but I've seen pictures, movies.
It's crazy. I've been in New York
I've
for
heard.
for one day, and all you can do is,
Yeah.
holy fuck, I need to come back because I can't do anything but fucking
That's,
look.
that's the
It's crazy.
fastest way to spot a tourist because it's just like
Yeah.
if you've never been
It's
there before.
insane.
It's just like it just keeps going. Like it's how
Yeah.
did you fit?
I've
all
never
that
even
in
been
there?
to downtown LA before I went. New York. I went to New York first before I ever was in a real city. You know, from like Phoenix, but like there's like 3 buildings.
Yeah, but even that is still. It's like it's not the same. It's not
No.
built the same way. It's not like
There's just so much history
it's
and
fucking
like
Gotham, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's wild. It's
Yeah,
wild.
because that shit was built when like the United States was an empire.
Yeah, it's
Right.
and it just kept going
Yep.
up because
Right.
it's so much in such a small area.
So
like it's
dense.
unbelievable.
That's
Like,
Everybody
sinking.
wants to live
That's
here.
sinking. Yeah,
Seriously.
exactly.
Is it?
Yeah, New York is sinking. What's on an island? It's just like as soon as once they get a tsunami or something, cops are coming.
I was just
Love
gonna
those
say
sounds.
that. You hear
I
that
love
shit?
those sounds of the podcast with the cops are in the background.
It's awesome. It's funny because I'm hearing it filtered through these headphones.
It sounds real. Then.
Right? I'm like, oh shit.
I'm just pressing
Just sound
buttons over
effects
here,
that he
dude.
uses.
Yeah,
It's a rough neighborhood, bro.
dude, it's gangsters and shit. That's funny.
So what's new with What was I gonna say?
Edit out this part.
I did have.
Note
Hold
to
on.
yourself.
Hold on. We need a
I can see it in his face. The
I know, I
second
lost it right
he's
away.
So, and I'm like, he's got nothing. Everyone, shh, shh, shh.
Oh, no,
He's
we were
got
talking about-
nothing.
Should be
No, we were talking about
salivating.
Elysium. Like, it'll be.
Yeah.
I can see it already where they're just going to release like a sky. It'll be like, oh, the skylight loft.
Yeah.
It'll be something floating in the air, and we already have.
There'll be like a.
They're developing space elevators, so it'll be like that first.
What the hell is a space elevator?
Space elevator is something like that's how we're going to get to space eventually. Is because they're going to have a satellite in orbit, and then they'll connect a cable to it, like some kind of ultra strong fiber that a elevator will be connected to, literally, and that'll lift cargo up from ground level to orbit, and then once that way we can go to other planets and stuff without using all the fuel that it takes to get through our gravity. Because once you're out there, if you lift off from there, you can save so much money and energy.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, along the line on the space elevators, there will probably be fucking stops and buildings and shit where
Yeah.
people are living. It's fucking.
There's like a
crazy,
Taco
man.
Bell.
Convenience stores.
Finally, it'll be the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
Oh, dude.
That's the thing. You ever see a poor person on the Jetsons? Nope.
Fuck no.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They're back down on Earth, fucking
They all
fighting
live
it
in
out.
sky condos, flying cars to work and shit. Like they all have a robot maid.
It's so funny because I go outside and you see, we were talking about homeless people, and it's just like, fuck, man. Like, you see this and they're pissing and shitting everywhere, and you're like, this is terrible.
Have you literally seen it where, like, I saw it right outside, right on Rosewood,
Like-
right here, fucking some old,
Doing his
not old,
business?
just no, wiping her ass, like fucking,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like right,
Yeah.
like that. That was as graphic as it got for me. I saw the shit come out of her fucking ass as I passed by, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh man. And I've seen her walk by 100 times, so I knew exactly who it was.
Right.
It's very intimate
Yeah.
now.
And now it's crazy. Right? She's just
I feel like you need to wipe your ass in front of her so you guys can connect.
I'm gonna give her some wet naps from the fucking restaurant I work at.
dude, she's just shitting and staring at you like.
Luckily, she was turned, but.
I don't want to be in anyone's sights when they're busting out a growler.
Like, there's got to be a more. It's just at that point where she doesn't give a fuck too, because it was like right by a tree.
Why
in the middle
would
of
you
fucking-
give? Why would you care?
I don't know.
She's been humbled.
What is
for
the
sure.
point
Most
of
people gotta
caring?
be humble.
Like,
Yeah, when you're homeless, yeah, they don't give a fuck.
like what
have-
you've gone through rock bottom.
Yeah,
like there's no
You reverted back to a primal state.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're feral at that point. Like,
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy though? There's like rich people that have everything, they commit suicide all the time.
Right.
You know, and
Well, that's because they're
yet-
on fucking drugs.
Right,
They're
but
on
then
these
somebody like
narcotics.
that's hit rock bottom, below rock bottom, beneath the rock, and
That's
they're
why the
still
answer-
living.
Still fighting.
They're still
Living.
alive.
That's
Dude,
why the
puts-
answer is the middle. There should be no super high. There should be no super low. If everyone were in the middle and there were more equality,
Why is there a war on the middle class in America, John Derby?
because
There's a war on the middle class.
because the upper class is afraid.
John Derby's a socialist, guys.
No.
Well, I guess. I don't know. I wear a lot of
So
hats
fun.
on this show.
No, dude, it's funny. You were saying that, they don't care, and it's just like, I don't even think I would care if I saw a homeless person shitting. And I think the reason why is I've been desensitized to it is that I've had a dog now for like 6 months.
It's completely different.
No, listen. So, like, growing up, we had dogs and stuff,
Well, I kicked
right?
my dog out, right? So I don't give a fuck about anything.
No.
Get the fuck out of my life.
I'm saying I gotta walk this thing around the block and watch it take shits, and it like stares at me while it does it, and then I have to clean it up, which is completely disgusting. But it's like doing that 100 times, you get over it, and you're like, all right, the
Yeah, but
novelty's worn off.
human shit is
Yeah.
another thing.
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you,
Our
it doesn't.
diets, our diets are fucking
Especially a
disgusting.
homeless person's diet. They're
the
eating fucking
shit
just
that they-
whatever fucking cheeseburgers and chicken sandwiches.
And
they
obviously,
can get.
like,
I saw a homeless
shit
dude
all
eat
the
an
time.
entire box of pizza the other day. I was
There
like,
you
fuck
go.
this guy. A full box of pizza.
Fuck this guy.
Hey, somebody probably
Fuck
bought
this
it
guy.
for him.
He can't give me a slice. Fuck this
You
guy.
can't give me a slice home.
Who do you think
You
you
go
are?
up to you go up to cut about the spare slice.
Hey, hobo, why don't you chip me off a slice of that pie, man?
Got a greedy son of a bitch.
Would you steal that? How'd you get that?
Yeah, right? Oh, what's wrong with me? I'm
Fucking
terrible.
asshole.
Yeah, you are actually.
I'm
You just
sorry,
expose
man.
yourself. You're an awful person.
I love it. He's like, I pick up my dog shit, so I don't care about homeless people.
Hey, what kind of dog do you have? A Yorkie?
No, it's an English bulldog. It's pretty good.
No, but you haven't seen it though. You haven't seen a human shitting. You haven't seen it actually come out of their
I saw
rectum.
some dude do it, yeah.
Did you see it like physically, like you
Yeah,
looked at
it
it? You're
was-
like, oh fuck!
It was literally down the
Yeah.
street. It was on the way to work, and it's just like, it's the same, like over on Beverly and Fairfax.
Yeah.
Just some dude, and he went over to one of the houses, and he leaned up against the, like, did like the invisible chair up against one of the walls of the apartments.
Smokey's taking a shit.
Smokey's taking
Is that you?
Dude, and then he turned on their water faucet and started like washing his ass off like it was a bidet.
Hey, that's classy, man.
That's
That's
classy,
classy.
yeah.
That's a classy.
That's a
Nothing
classy
better.
move, dude.
Nothing better than washing it out with a hose when you're done.
Yeah.
You know you're clean.
And it didn't even have the hose attached to it. It was just the faucet that comes out of the apartment. He started washing his ass with his
crafty.
hand. I was like, oh fuck.
I don't think we can end on a better note. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back in a minute.
Ow!
It's time for On the John with John Derby.
Anybody else sick of hearing about Johnny Football? Johnny Manziel. I hate this argument that, well, he's a 20-year-old kid. Let him do what he wants to do. Let him go out and have fun. You want to be a regular 20-year-old kid? Don't play quarterback. Don't go to school in the SEC. Don't win the Heisman Trophy as a freshman. Don't be a 19-year-old with an entire NFL future in front of you. If you don't want any of those things, be a regular kid. You can go to as many frat parties as you want. You can do whatever the hell you want. You want to be normal? Change with me. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. You can do whatever you want. You can go get drunk all the time. If you want to switch, I'll switch. If you sign up to play quarterback at a major college program and your intention is to go to the NFL, you're going to be famous. When you're famous, there's a different standard. People watch everything you do and analyze you differently. That is exactly what you signed up for. I don't care how old you are. You knew what it was. If you smoke cigarettes post 1970, you know it's not good for you. So when it kills you, fuck you. That's your fault. Grow up, get your head on straight. Please, please, just focus on throwing the football. That's what I want to hear about. I'm sick of the rest of the crap. Enjoy your season.
Welcome back to aPODcalyptic Times. We're here with Mr. Rob McHalffey.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir.
Hello.
I think John Derby's got a question for you.
I do have a question.
Uh-oh.
He's fucking stoked. See how excited he
I'm
is?
scared, man.
There's a lot of different ones I could ask you. I'm going to go with this one, though. This is like one of my newest.
You guys playing this shit?
It's one of my newest questions. So you have to pick a superpower. You can have any superpower with the exception of flight. Cannot have flight. I know, because that's why I took
I
it away.
literally dream about
That's
that.
why I took it away. Too easy. So you can have anything but flight.
Just take away
What is it?
omniscience.
Huh?
Omniscience. Take it away. Oh, you don't get that word?
You know
So
what?
just learned
Sorry,
that
ruined your
word
question.
and you're
I'm
trying
sorry.
to show it off.
Sorry, I read your question.
Yeah, right? Yeah, what, like, what's his name? The blue dude from,
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan?
Yeah.
That's omniscience, right?
Yeah.
He's like a god.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I thought his
That's-
superpower was walking around with his dong out. No one told him.
Dude, you got a blue dick.
That's just not
That's a
giving
cool
a fuck.
superpower, man.
It's like I can walk around with my dick out. No one mentions it. Like that's a pretty good superpower.
I get to have,
Everyone acts like that's just normal.
I get to have sex with that chick in the other room while I'm in the other room, and I get to make waffles.
Huge blue dick.
Yeah. No one calls me. Yeah.
All right, back to
All
the
right.
question.
Go ahead.
Probably transportation.
Transportation.
What? You got a bus system?
Like I got a sweet van.
Hey, I
like,
live in a loft. I'm head of transportation.
I work in a glass booth.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Teleportation. I mean,
Like Nightcrawler, kind of like
I thought
Nightcrawler.
maybe he had something cool to go with the transportation thing.
Exactly. Like
No, I want to
New
collect
way that we've
tokens.
never heard of.
I don't know why I said because I've been drinking Tecate with lime. Yeah, teleportation
I
probably.
run a metro downtown.
But is it that kind of like flight?
Yeah.
No,
no,
not really.
teleportation,
No,
no.
because flight. I mean, like you could literally just take off and fly.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
but you're still there. People see. Like teleportation is you're in one
Beam me
spot,
up.
you're in another.
Right.
There's
Beat
no.
me up, Scotty shit. You know,
It's not a traveling
That's
thing.
Dude, I think Nightcrawler's opening scene of X-Men 2,
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
where he's in like the White House. He's just
Sure.
Yeah, that
fucking
was well
coolest shit I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a badass.
What about you two, ass ticklers?
transportation for sure.
I'm probably more into bean counting.
I'm glad I said
Go
that.
ahead, Duarte. Field
charts
that
and
question.
graphs?
Well, I think.
What about omniscience? I'm into omniscience too.
I already
You can,
took that.
you
Yeah.
can have that.
Oh, you gotta pick a
Yeah,
card.
that's
You want to
super-
read
a
minds? Like, is that what
superpower,
you
a
want to
real
do?
one?
Like,
No, I don't want to read minds. That's
Yeah,
that's
super. I mean, you can be super fast. You can shoot lasers out of you. I mean, anything. Like,
Yeah.
what- I
Well,
mean,
mine is I want to know everything. I want to
just
know
be all knowing, or have like my superpower be like a concentration, like be able to concentrate on things like so
concentration camp.
good. Yeah,
Jesus.
to be able to run concentration. Yeah, come on, Travis. Yeah,
Hitler.
To be able to take anyone I view differently than me and put them in one area under terrible circumstances.
Possibly gas them.
That's my superpower.
That's terrible.
Wow.
There's always a Hitler joke
You guys
with
are
you guys.
terrible. Well,
It's
you
been a
know,
while, actually.
It's been probably like 60 episodes.
You bring out the
since we
best
talked
in
about
us, Rob. Thanks.
you guys
I'm
are
here.
so unoriginal. Like, really? That's all you got? You want
Well-
to know everything, and he wants to focus better. Like, all right, like, great.
All right. Well, what's
Wow.
yours? Since you're so
Invisibility.
Yeah?
How's
I
that?
don't know, so you
Oh,
can
that's
keep
so
calm the whole
original.
time?
No, but that would be
Fucking
awesome.
weirdo.
Think about how awesome that would be. You could get almost, I mean, because you could learn anything you wanted to learn. You could see anything you wanted to see.
Yeah, but if I knew
There's no limit.
If I knew what you were thinking and I knew why you were thinking it, I wouldn't even have to be invisible.
But see, but that's
I'm
but
fucking 10 steps
But here's
ahead
the
of
thing:
you.
my fear with that is
Bruh.
you wouldn't be able. Bruh.
Telekinesis would be
Go
pretty
back
cool.
to the valley.
It would be.
I think
But I'm-
telekinesis would be
is
cool.
pretty great.
But my fear with that would be: can you turn that on and off? Like, or do you just constantly flooded with thoughts nonstop all day, every day? You just hear everybody's mindless fucking chatter. I mean, it'd be like Facebook, but nonstop.
I think you would be able to focus.
Like it'd be like a
Yeah.
constant Facebook feed in your head. Like
You don't even
that
hear
would be
people when they're
terrible.
talking to you sometimes, right?
I'm talking about
me?
like.
No, I'm just saying people.
John doesn't
like,
hear
you
anybody
tune
when they're
people out,
talking.
right?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they're talking
and I'm
to
not
you,
even
you're
talking
focusing on
about.
something
I don't
else.
care what people think. I want to know like how human species got here, and I want to know everything throughout history.
So you want to be
and
more
I wanna,
like a genius. Like,
Actually, I don't know. I was just thinking
No.
about that.
see,
I
I'm,
was
I'm
thinking
gonna need you to. I'm
all-knowing.
gonna need you to narrow this down.
Dude, what
Okay,
about
that's
what
too
about
vague.
just time travel? Time travel would be awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, I could figure that out with my all-knowing thing. That's
See,
the whole
I
thing.
need you to condense
So
that. Then
all
I need
knowing,
you to
like,
condense that.
I know exactly what we are and how we got here and everything.
That's too general,
That's what I'm
right?
saying. That's too general. I need
That's
you. To,
like,
I need a
That's
specific.
like you get 3
power.
wishes. I wish for 3 more wishes.
well,
Like, I
But
need a
there
specific-
have
you get
been
infinite wishes. Like,
there
that's
have
the
been
best
characters
wish you
that
could
have like the powers that they have the ability to gain everybody else's power. You know, like on Misfits, they
Dudes-
had that. Like,
Dude from Heroes,
yeah,
where like he comes in contact with somebody, and
right.
He
He
takes
could
their
take
power.
their power and he just gathers other people's powers.
That's cool. I mean, that's
Okay.
like that's like
I'm gonna
mimicry.
narrow it
I'm not
down
saying
for
that
you.
that's
Yeah.
what I
I'm
want.
going to
Yeah.
narrow it down.
Narrow it down.
I can see all dimensions. I can see all the dimensions. So I can see every kind of dimensional being and every.
So you can see reality.
I can see reality as it is and not just our human construct. I can see all forms of energy and what they are.
Can you just take acid?
Well, you can, but that's only like so. You're on a radio station taking acid. You're just moving the dial over a little bit, you know. So you see a little bit more, but I see everything, and I can tune in. I can change my channel based on what I want to see at that time. So I'm like, oh, hey, I think there's this being in this room. I can figure out what it is, and know what it is. And then wherever I am, like I know what energy it is, and I can harness whatever energy is around us at all times.
All right.
Sounds kinda
I'm
crazy.
going to let that go. I think that's still a little big for me, but I'm going to let that go.
It's
still
kind of broad.
It still
Obviously
works.
too
Yeah, it's
big
still
for you.
broad.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Go surf the Nard if
It's
that's
broad,
how you want
brah.
to talk. Now I'm going to pick on Duarte. What did you come up with?
Telekinesis. That's pretty cool.
All right.
That's pretty dope.
Jesus.
So you can like
Have you
move,
seen-
you can move things with your mind.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie Chronicle?
It's pretty good. It was good.
And that's one of the main things they could do is telekinesis. It's
Yeah.
just like, crazy shit. You could just
That would be cool.
crush cars with your mind. Just
Yeah, you're stuck in traffic. Well, you just move the cars out of your way.
Yeah,
You're fine, you know.
be pretty sick. That'd be a good
I
good
think
skill.
I was
That's
thinking
cool.
about it literally just now. Speed, like super fast. I think that would probably be the most annoying superpower.
Annoying. Why?
I don't know, because it's like, I
Because he likes to go on long,
I got a
long
super-
jogs.
I got a superpower, and it's
That's essentially
super speed.
It's essentially time travel, though. If you can move so fast that time is literally stopped around you, you're time traveling.
Yeah.
I think
And you
time
can-
travel. I'm
and it's
literally.
almost
I think
as good as flight.
and
Like
like
if you could go that
Exactly.
fast, like it's
And like
almost as good as
Superman,
flight.
And if you're fast enough, you could probably run on water.
Sure.
Ask Jesus.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
we'll know for sure.
Oh, he can walk.
Well, when you have your
slows it
all-knowing
down.
power, or
Yeah.
you can ask Jesus.
I'll just know what dimension you got to be in to, walk on
I
water.
I think I want to change mine to time travel. I think that'd be the coolest.
So but in what?
Because I think that's the key to all knowing. You know what I mean? Just going to different times. And
absolutely, and figure out what happened.
Yeah. It's
Although,
all right, fine. I'm gonna go back.
Although,
See
what if
this
you went
Jesus
back?
dude
What if
did
you
all
went
this
back
stuff.
and you just got murdered like right away? Because like they were like, who the fuck is this weirdo? And you
Yeah.
get killed.
You'd have
Because
to
you
have-
can't bring back weapons or anything because it's
Yeah.
just your human superpower.
I feel like you could just travel, right? You just time travel anytime you're in
You can
in
just
danger.
right.
just
Someone comes in, you
zoop,
just flip out,
which is kind of
the
kind
same
of
as your other one.
teleportation.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like teleportation to different times
With
as opposed to
time.
different spaces.
Yep, that's two.
It's very quantum leap.
I'm digging it. That's my answer.
So invisibility.
Yeah.
That's the lamest one of all.
It's not lame. That'd be awesome.
Why?
Because it's like, because I based it on like living in my time as I am right now. Like if it was me right now and I woke up tomorrow with a superpower, what would I want it to be? I would want it to be invisibility.
That says everything about your personality. Like,
He just wants to be a peeping Tom.
Exactly. You don't want to be seen, but you want to know everything.
Of course,
You wanna-
that's what you would want to do. Of
You wanna
course,
see
that's what
everything.
you would do.
What would you do with invisibility?
Anything I wanted.
He said he'd
I
go
could
take
be
college
anywhere.
courses.
I could
and-
be anywhere.
How could you be anywhere? You'd have to still walk or drive there.
Sure.
And what are you going to drive there in a car, but you're invisible?
That would be cool.
Why do I need to? If I'm in a car, why do I need to be
Like,
invisible?
otherwise, if you're just invisible,
But I'm saying
why are
I
you
could be-
walking? You're walking.
I could walk right into the White House and sit behind Barack Obama and just see what his day's like.
Would you
if
do
I
it?
wanted to do that,
That would be
I'm
cool.
just. I'm
Yeah.
saying, but it's like, but anything like that, anything. You could walk into Area 51 and just go, oh shit, there's a spacecraft.
But you still got to eat.
Of course,
You still
you're still a
need-
person.
You still
You're
need
still
money.
A,
I guess you could steal money.
See, here's the
that'd
thing.
be easy to steal money.
be easy as fuck to steal money. You could go listen to like, oh, that's the hottest stock tip. I'm going to go do that. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you could
Yeah,
do,
you could do some
anything.
major insight.
Oh,
And, then and you still
yeah.
get you're still a regular person with a regular life. Nobody knows what
You're
you
not
do
like
or who you are.
Spider-Man, where
You're
it's
not.
like
It's not
so
some
much
sort of genetic
responsibility.
abnormality. Like, you don't have.
Well, it would be if you
You
could
could
just-
choose to be a superhero if you wanted. You could choose to be a regular fucking person who knows everything. You could do.
He goes and sits on the bench. Sits on the bench next to LeBron.
Do whatever you wanted. Anything.
I'm going to Lakers game tonight.
Anything.
Anything.
You want to go on a spaceship? You could go on a spaceship.
But you'd be alone.
Well, you couldn't go on the
While you're
spaceship 'cause you'd have to
invisible,
get all the
yeah.
fucking
You'd always be alone.
gear and shit.
How the fuck are you going to make friends?
What do you mean?
Nobody's going to want to be your
I
friend.
could know anything about you, and then you'd be like, dude, I happen to know that these are your 3 favorite gay soccer teams, and now we're best friends.
That's the creepiest thing. Like, nobody why do you
Nobody would know
that's
that.
what
he's
I'm
You
saying.
would know
But you
that
could
by
still-
looking on Grindr anyway. So.
Exactly. Well,
But I'm just saying, I
put
would
my
still
real
be,
account
I would
on
be
Grindr,
who
so
I
you
am
can really
right now.
Get to know me.
So it's like I would still have all my friends and family now, except for now I could be invisible, so I could keep
Yeah,
tabs
but
on
if I
all
knew,
you shady
If I
bastards.
knew that you could turn invisible,
Why the hell would I tell you? You'd be the last person
I would
tell.
just leave all my doors locked all the time because I'm like,
Because that's what's going to keep me out.
He wants to come
A
in and watch
locked
me
door.
jerk off. Like,
God, no. I would be invisible so I could avoid you. It'd be like, oh, Travis is coming. Blue, gone.
so when you
John was
turn
gonna be
invisible, but like you have to take off all your clothes, right? Or can you turn your clothes
You just
invisible?
whatever's
Whatever's
on
touching you.
your person is invisible.
So
with.
you can
How
take
about
things with you.
that? Sure.
That'd be cool.
Is that the same thing with time travel?
Instead of
if I
like
could
the
take-
invisible
I was
man who
gonna
has
say,
to get naked.
if I'm holding something, it's invisible with me.
Well,
We'll
okay.
give
Well, the
that.
thing
I
with-
actually thought about
the
that.
thing with time travel too. Like, can you take a device? Can you take your iPhone to another dimension? Because I've always wanted to do that.
Right.
That way, you could be the ultra genius.
I don't think so.
Are you going to take your Wi-Fi connectivity?
But that's the thing. It's like there's not going to be internet service in the 50s. Like
No,
you're not
but
gonna,
but,
I
but
mean,
it's possible.
charger.
It's possible that it like if that's just energy emanating on the Earth, that like it would still be radiating out even when you go back in history, go back in time. Does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense. But
no,
it makes
it
sense.
wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Dude, it's so funny that you say that whole like dimensional thing because I was thinking about a story the other day that I was like, I wanted to write, but this would be obviously beyond my pay scale now. This would be like a future project, but it's like the idea of like a future world that we live in to where we've kind of learned to harness the idea of like different multiple dimensions. Like, have you ever seen that movie with Jet Li called The One? Where there's like a multiverse. So it's just like basically there are like 400 different universes.
Every decision you make creates a new universe. Right?
Well, no, there are different universes. So it's like there's you in 400 other universes that are basically like this, but a little bit different. So it's like the idea that they all exist in one place, but then you would have to see them in different aspects. So it's just like you wouldn't have to worry about like you're walking across the street and a car is about to hit you. You would then, I don't know why I was thinking like this, you would then transfer yourself from that universe where this car's about to hit you to the next universe, and the car would basically just pass through your body.
Right.
And then you would come back to your...
Or you'd get hit and see it as you walk out and walk into another universe, like type of
I
thing?
don't know. I was just thinking about it. It was kind of crazy, but it made
Yeah.
me... You saying what you said made me think of that. Like, it was just for that split second where the bullet's about to pass through your head. You're in the other universe where the bullet isn't passing through your head, and then you come back to yours. But then there would have to be, obviously, a problem where somebody is...
Yeah, but that physical body would definitely get the bullet.
Well, unless literally, like, because some scientists actually think that every decision you make creates a new universe.
Yeah.
So, like, or a new dimension.
Right.
So, like, we create a new dimension based on every split decision. This left or right, like because there's a universe or a dimension of what would have happened if you went this way, and then there's the reality that you live in.
Kind of like
every
back to the
possibility,
Future,
right?
where it's like this is what was going to happen,
And it
then
would've
you did
changed
this,
everything.
so it took you this way.
Right. So it's all
now
this
that's the new one.
holographic, like, and they're all kind of like sitting on top of each other, but we can't access them because we live in our flesh and blood in
Right.
this reality.
So there's like a
Crazy.
you, but he's sitting over here, maybe.
Right.
Or like the room is
Exactly.
But that's like a different thing that we can't see, and
Right.
they can't see us.
But it's all happening at the
Oh,
same
that's
time.
kind of cool.
And maybe that's what ghosts are to some
Yeah.
degree, like somebody living in another dimension. Like, I would want to talk to dead people. I would want to know like what kind of beings are around us. Like, I've always had, every time I've had any kind of psychedelic drug, I think I've come to the realization, like, my breaking point, the highest you get to the peak is like when you turn around and you realize that fucking everything in the universe is staring at you, and you have no idea what the fuck it is. And it took me a long time and several trips to figure it out. But I think I come to this realization where I finally get outside of my body and look back, and you see that everything around you are fucking beings of every different dimension, like just all these different fucking beings looking at you, watching you at all times. And you had no idea, and every day that you've lived your life, they've fucking been around you and fucking whispering and telling you shit, and you have no idea that they're there. But you reach it at that point when you're highest, or like that's probably the same thing as a near-death experience, or when you get into that dream state where you see it, it's like you have this realization, like, holy fuck, like, one, we're not alone. Every piece of existence around us, every tiny particle of matter is filled by something, and they're constantly surrounding us.
It's crazy that I hear the same thing from everybody who's taken acid. Like everybody, no, but like they all come up with like the same. It's like they all have the same experience of like this alternate dimension or understanding of the universe that we live in.
Have you ever had it? Taken acid?
No.
No? Have you ever done mushrooms?
No.
Any kind of psychedelic at
No.
all? Marijuana?
Yeah, but
Marijuana, it can get you there, like, edible more so than the others, and at certain levels, marijuana can get you pretty far.
weed just confuses me. I'm just like, I'm confused. I'll have a thought,
Well, because you're literally...
and then I'm like, where was that? What was the thought? Where did it go? What the fuck just happened?
Right.
Damn it, man. Where is it? I should have written it down.
Okay, so times that by 500 million, and that's acid, where there's all those crazy thoughts are coming at you all at once, and you're like, and you start to build a little chain, and it starts to make sense, and then you're like, where the fuck is that going? And then another one starts, and you're like, I get this, it's gone. And then
has anybody else done acid in this room?
I think there's similar experiences because the chemicals like affect the same part of the brain for everybody. So I think that maybe I think there's a lot of similarities in the experience. Like if you ever just read about pick any drug and you ever read about people's experiences, it's like there's a lot of similarities in them. And some people, and especially with the hallucinogens, people will see a lot of the same things.
Right.
Like if you ever read about people that have done DMT, they all see like a lot, like the really intense ones are all like they all see this same kind of little L for like a troll.
But that's because it affects your brain.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's
well,
like it's
no,
the chemical,
but that's an argument. That's not 100% correct because the argument is that like its actual consciousness is outside of our body. And so you're externalizing your consciousness where you're getting outside of your body and you break outside of your body for the first time where you kind of see that consciousness exists outside of us. So we're just like a fucking little being that can barely understand fucking the signals that are constantly going on around us, and we're tuned into I always use the same thing, but we're tuned into the same radio station all the time.
Like a super weak antenna?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a little weak antenna.
And we only get and then if you want to believe that we only use 10% of our brains or any of those, which has been proven and disproven either way, like there's studies either way. But so we have a very, very limited understanding. Because what is it? If you hold your arms out all the way, the amount of energy that you can see is like the length of your fingernail, like this way. Right here, like the width of your fingernail. If you hold out this is the energy spectrum from the tip of my middle finger to the tip of this middle finger. And all that we can see and understand, visible light, is the very, very tip of your fingernail. So we have no idea about fucking what different energy levels are. And then because even when we look at space with fucking infrared and all these different things, we see all kinds of different shit, and we found different planets, and we understand that there's like gas giants and all these different shit floating around space, but we don't even know if that shit is possibly here and at what levels there might be beings and different fucking things around us at all fucking times.
That was one of the craziest things to me when I learned that like so light obviously takes time to travel. So you're looking at stars that might not even be there anymore.
Millions and millions of fucking years ago.
More than likely aren't there.
Yeah,
it could have been a blast.
You're looking at a star that no longer currently exists.
Yeah.
But you are seeing, so you're literally looking at like a historical light.
You're looking into the past.
Yeah, you're looking into the past.
You're looking at history, or at time, literally, like just a stamp
a historical
time.
light, right? You're like, oh, that's what it used to look like before it fucking blew up and it became a black hole.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
So to be timeless or to travel through time, to move through that, I think is like the most amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like to understand what energy, whatever the fuck this is, and to understand how time affects each frame that we're in. So you think about it, we're kind of like a fucking movie camera. We're kind of like this fucking camera. It's like all we have are these little glimpses of our reality at that time. And most of us, I think the part of the problem with humanity is that we're so worried about either the past or the future that we don't even necessarily recognize what the fuck is going on at this exact moment. Because it's hard to tune in, and people, when they do, I think, amazing things and miracles and stuff, like they actually tune in to this time and place at that time, understanding the energy of where they are.
Right.
It's crazy shit.
It's crazy to think about how, like, you know, we look at ourselves and we can even have these conversations and we're at a certain level of sophistication compared to the same human bodies that lived, 10,000 years ago or whatever the case may be, that didn't necessarily know what was going on or have like the same idea of their existence.
Yeah, but we don't necessarily know that.
What do you mean?
We don't even know that because we don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Just because we have reached a certain level of technology and we can start to have science to understand it, like they probably had a different metaphysical understanding, or they called it different things. Like the language was just different, but they might have had a better understanding of what actual consciousness was. It because we've been so far removed, especially with the advent of the Catholic Church and putting the hands of our consciousness in priests. Like, it was like, oh, we can't really know anything about that. So science departed from that.
Right.
So those two branches grew far and farther apart.
Yeah.
And now we're at a point where, like, oh, fuck, these two things are the exact same thing. Like, why have the fuck we've been studying? Oh, because the church had such a powerful grasp over what our consciousness was.
Right.
And then that's where you get into conspiracy theory, that they're controlling us to fucking just make money out of us, to put us in working slaves so we can make more money, to fucking empower the powers that be. Hence reptilians. They started the whole thing.
That's a conspiracy?
No, I mean, it's not a conspiracy. It's 100% true.
Yeah.
When we talk about reptilians, you guys won't
I
believe me, but I know it's true.
It is a conspiracy, but it's just not a conspiracy theory because it's actually true.
Well, it's a theory.
Not the reptilian part.
It's a theory in that everything's a theory.
Everything is, yes.
But also, it's like, so I was listening to a show today about how all the stone circles around the world are all harmonic resonance things, where sound was used to carry energy, and literally there was free energy, and this is what they think Tesla tapped into, where energy can pass from these sites, and there's channels along the earth that just carry all this energy. And the giant conspiracy is that the powers that be don't want us to know that we can just access energy in the air because it's already there, because they're making money off of this.
Right.
And for us to access energy, so we could have, and it wouldn't be the same. We would have to build devices differently to access that energy, but essentially we could get to the same point that we are, where we would have infinite energy,
sustainable energy,
just coming from the earth. And it's a harmonic resonance thing that comes from the way that the earth spins and round circular things, and like Stonehenge. That's a power plant of fucking, when the harmony of the earth or whatever hits it the right way, it fucking ejects energy, and that's what the Great Pyramid is, and all these. It's fucking mind blowing.
Time travel, dude.
And that might be what it was.
All right, well, I'm gonna go check it out. I'll come back and tell you guys what's up. Yep,
that was it. I'm back.
That was it. So you guys hungry? All right, time for break.
Amazing trip,
dude.
Duarte, you got a question for Mr. McHalffey? We gave you enough time there. Think about it.
I actually have one.
To be thinking?
I actually do have one. Along the same notes, craziest dream you've ever had.
Oh man!
And can you describe it?
The craziest. I don't know about like the.
Or do you think it's just like implanted memories like we were talking about earlier? Like
I guess I got two of them. Two of them. Then I guess the craziest thing that's happened to me is that when I lived in my old my old house in Cleveland, I've never been like a big I believe in ghosts or anything like that. Either one way or the other, I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I don't want to put any thought into it, I guess, because I don't think believing in them or not believing in them affects you, I guess. I don't know. But at my old place, I was sleeping one day, and it was, middle of the night, like 2 a.m., and I just woke up, and after I woke up, I started being choked by something for like 2 seconds, and then it was gone. I'm like swiping at the air, and there's nothing there. I run over, and I turn on the light, and I look around, there's nothing.
Wow.
But like very distinct, woke up, looked around my dark room, started being choked by something for 2 seconds, freaked the fuck out.
You were in the waking state?
I don't know, man. It didn't feel like I was in
John.
Didn't feel. That's what it is. Just some invisible son of a bitch.
Dude, you could have a pizza place, Invisible John.
But that was probably the
choking
craziest.
dough since '92.
That was probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me as far as like a dream. But it's not like a specific dream, but the dreams that I keep waking out of and then going back to, and like I kind of get to finish
like
the dream.
Yeah.
Dreams? Well, it's like I'll have a dream and then I'll wake up and I'll like, oh man, it's not time to get up yet. I'm like, oh, well, I like that dream. Like, I want to see where this is going. So I'll go back to sleep.
Right. Try to find it again.
And then all of a sudden, it's like I just continue the dream.
See, I can never do that.
Yeah, and that happens.
I
wake up and I'm like,
for
like
that was
6
a great dream.
hours. I just keep having this dream, and it's like, oh, I wake up out of it, and I look around. I'm like, okay, check my phone. Not time to get up yet. Cool. I don't have to go to work. All right,
just go right back.
Let's go back to that dream.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty dope, right?
Yeah, I can't go back to the
usually
same
not.
thing. I try to because if it's a cool dream, he's like, wow, man, that was really cool. I want to get back there,
banging two hot
and then
chicks,
then it gets into some weird fucking BDSM shit. And
Rob, thank you so much for coming out. What We don't have a release date yet, but you'll keep us updated, right?
Yeah, probably
on Mimepocalypse.
end of September.
Awesome.
Early October, something like that. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'll let you guys
Sounds
know.
good. Keep us in the know for future projects.
Word.
Duarte, where can we download your album, your EP?
Yeah, we're actually being featured right now this week on noisetrade.com. So as a new and notable artist. So we'll be on there all week and probably the next week after that too.
Very exciting. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
Notable David.
Tons of downloads already. It's great.
Awesome. Hell yeah. That's great. Mr. Derby. Big
Yes, sir.
news. Big news.
Oh, huge.
Huge news. We got a headliner.
You having a baby?
No.
He's pregnant.
I mean, that would be big news.
That'd be huge news. John's pregnant.
Huge.
Who we-
No, I'm going to...
September 2nd?
3rd.
September 3rd.
Tuesday, September 3rd. The one, the only, Fred Stoller.
Fred Stoller. Holy
Fred
shit.
Stoller, folks.
Seen him on Seinfeld. You've seen him on
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Friends. Been everywhere.
How do
Yeah.
you spell that?
Friends.
Stoller.
Stoller.
All right.
Yeah.
Starts with Fred.
He's like an old school comic too. It's like I was listening to Mark Maron and Chris Rock of WTF podcast, and Chris Rock just went off on like a 10-minute like, where the fuck is Fred?
Yeah.
Where's Fred Stoller?
Everybody knows this
it's
guy.
so funny. Like, yeah, he goes way back from like that was the old New York City
Kathy
days.
Griffin
and he's
was
been
just
out here.
talking about him because
Yeah.
he's got a story in his book about how they went on a date and he didn't want a second date, and so it was just like it wasn't like he wasn't trying to slam her or anything, but it wasn't like over complimentary, and she was totally cool about him. Was like, nah, totally fine, like we're cool, like
Fred. It's
yeah,
just Fred.
it's Fred, man.
No, that's awesome.
It's a good get.
It's
man.
going to be exciting. I want to see what he's
been
gonna do.
dabbling in stand up again lately.
He's back.
So
Fred is back.
yeah, I honestly just caught him at the right time, and he's super nice and willing to do it.
Well, he's making films now too. He just did like
He
an
does a lot
independent
of
film.
shit, yeah. Frankie and Vinny, I
Frankie and
believe.
Vinny,
Or
yeah,
Vinny and
absolutely.
Frankie,
Which
something like
did
that.
like the festival circuit.
Yeah.
I don't think it got major distribution, but you probably find it.
Oh, you can find it on like Amazon. Like it's not hard
Yeah.
to find. Yeah.
Awesome.
His book
Awesome.
just came out too.
Yeah,
And this is Turbo Tuesday?
Yeah.
Nice.
Turbo Tuesday.
September
We
3rd.
got Fred
September
Stoller.
3rd.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's really it's a really good get. Like it's kind of it's obscure, but it's awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, America. Be like Richard Derby and send me shirts. I love T-shirts. All right. Good day.